Your problem is uppers and sex. We'll keep going and we'll see how bad it gets, okay? Doing all the drugs, banging all the hookers, banging all the strippers. All right, so what's up, guys? Welcome back. This is episode 3 of Nevermind You're Stupid. I'm not gonna lie, all right? This one I read ahead a little bit, and the way it's written is kind of crazy. There's no punctuation, nothing's capitalized. It's like this guy just wrote down his stream of consciousness. And I get it, some of you guys are typing these out on your phones, and it's kind of annoying to fucking get all the grammar correct on your phone. And some of you guys might even be typing these out while you're like driving or some shit. Don't do that. It's dangerous. But whatever. So just know that if I get tripped up while I'm reading this, it's not because I'm stupid and I don't know how to read. It's because of the way it's written. Okay. Okay. This one's kind of long, so we're just gonna get right to it. All right. What's one of the worst decisions you've ever made? Man, going to strip clubs every week to doing crack and 2C. I don't know what 2C is. I've never heard that word before, but right here he clarifies. He says it's pink cocaine. Okay, so if you're ever in a dark alley and someone offers to sell you some 2C, that what they're trying to sell you is pink cocaine. I don't know how that's different from regular cocaine, other than it being pink, but yeah, 2C is pink cocaine. Okay, banging prostitutes at the age of 20, doing coke, and then banging strippers. I can go on and on. There's not one inherent bad decision. They're all just one big bad mistake. Right off the bat, dude, it's your problem is uppers and sex. It's very evident just from that part alone. But we'll keep going and we'll see how bad it gets, okay? What made you decide to do it? Self-destructive personality. I hate myself. Much like how you felt in some of your episodes. So what he's referring to right now is Storytime with Ryan, my cartoon on Instagram. It's kind of a big deal if you want to look it up. Check it out. Yeah, I'll link it below. Okay, it's not like I can just pack up my addictions and start where I left off. I feel like there's no going back nor anything good for my future. So the plan is to deteriorate till there's nothing left. Damn, bro, that's fucking dark. That's fucking dark. Don't be that way. All right? It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It might not be fine, but it's going to be fine. How old were you at the time? First time ever trying anything was 16 to 25 now. Dude, you're only 25 and that's already your plan, dude? Like, come on. Come on. Don't be weak. Just stick it out. Stick it out. What actually happened? Go into detail. Where do I start, man? From being in an abusive household with no father, it was definitely tough not to go off the rails. Especially when I wasn't the youngest, I was the oldest. Well, next to a sister that left when she was 18. So what he just did right now was take this like really roundabout way to say that he was the second oldest. That was kind of weird. And a lot of it is written that way. But you know what? We're just gonna power through, okay, guys? Anyway, I started to work at a liquor store when I was 19, and I had an Israeli girlfriend I met at 18 before COVID. I was around alcohol, but legally I couldn't drink, just sell it, obviously. But that didn't happen because everyone around me was a bad influence. And you know what, dude? I've mentioned this in Storytime with Ryan, maybe once or twice, but my mom owned a liquor store when I was little, and she was a single mom, so basically I was at the liquor store like all the time. I grew up in that liquor store, and I know that liquor stores can be terrible places, especially if they're kind of in a shitty neighborhood. I've definitely seen things that children shouldn't see just by being at that liquor store. I remember one time, this one stands out to me. I don't know why. I remember one time we got to the liquor store in the morning to open, and there was just this homeless dude propped up against our door, like blocking the entrance, and he just had his dick out, and it was in his hand, like he was jerking off, and he fell asleep in front of my mom's liquor store. And even as a kid, I saw that shit, and I was like, man, this fool's crazy. Like, does he not know what shame is? You know? But yeah, liquor stores can be crazy, so I get it. All right. Anyway, so I was already a stoner by the age of 16. I tried multiple doses of LSD and shrooms, sometimes together. That's kind of crazy. Hallucinogens freak me out too, you know, just because sometimes my mind can go to like some dark places, you know. But, you know, some people love them. They're just not for me. All right. Anyway, I always said no to cocaine and pills, but that's for later. Anyway, I worked at this job for 5 years, and in those 5 years, everything went to shit. At first, I was just a weed addict, and me and my girl used to hang out at her mother's house. And then this part's written really crazy, but what he's getting at is the girl's mom was a junkie, so at her house, anything went. They could fucking smoke weed, they could shoot up, they could drink, they could bang, and it didn't fucking matter because the mom was a junkie and she was like fucking out of her mind, and it didn't matter. Like, you could do anything at that house, you know? When I was younger, I had a friend who had a house like that, and you know what? That's where we hung out, and that's where, you know, most of the drug use happened. It's not good. It's not good. Just like how you and that kid said he was the coolest up. Okay, so right now he's referring to my series again, and he's talking about this kid. He's talking about the kid who lived at that house I just mentioned. Um, Except he says that I thought he was the coolest, but actually, uh, I think I make it pretty clear that I don't like this guy anymore. I like, for the most part, I like everybody and I get along with most people, but this guy, like, I fucking, you know what? I wish bad things happened to this guy. He's just kind of like a fake and shitty person. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Anyway, I used to cheat on my girl with hookers or friends that I used to casually hang out with. I'm sure she cheated on me many times as well. Eventually, me and that girl broke it off, and that's when I spiraled into bad decisions, depression, and I was earning really good money. Really good money. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was at my worst with my drug use, sometimes it was good that I was broke because that meant I was gonna be sober for a couple of days and, like, you know, like get some actual rest and like recover a little bit. Um, I can't imagine where I'd be if I had a shit ton of money and I was an addict. You know, I might be dead. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes being broke was a good thing. Okay. Mind you, this is in Miami where drugs are easy to get. I've never really hung out in Miami. I heard it's crazy. I heard drugs are like everywhere. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I was this guy and I was making the kind of money he says he was making and I was in Miami, I'd probably be the same as him. I'd be doing all the drugs, banging all the hookers, banging all the strippers, you know. But you know, I don't know. That's just how I was when I was younger, you know? I was fucking crazy. I was stupid. Anyway, I met madams like a anyway, I met this woman and she would sell pink cocaine and meth. Um I don't know why he doesn't call it 2C here after he established in the beginning that 2C is pink cocaine. I don't know why he's going back and forth between the two, but she sold pink cocaine and meth. Okay, guys? And she was also with this beautiful Russian girl all the time, which I befriended and eventually started to hang out with. And that's when I did crystal for the first time. She was living in her grandma's, but her grandma wasn't there. She also had a boyfriend that was in jail. And I knew all of this because they were customers at the liquor store. That too. I remember being at my mom's liquor store, like all the regulars, like they would call her mom, and you know, they would always tell her their business. She knew what was going on with so many of them, and it was just kind of funny. It was like my mom's liquor store was like this little hub for the neighborhood in some ways, you know. I think it was, you know, it's probably a good thing in some ways, bad thing in some ways. But yeah, she knew all the dirt on all her regulars. It was kind of funny. So working at the liquor store he worked at, he probably knew all sorts of shit about his customers. What were the consequences? I lost everything. I didn't have much to start with. I'm back at square one. I'm trying my best to stay sober with just at least weed. This question hits hard because I felt like everything was stripped apart. You know what, man? You said you're 25 now and you're starting back at square one. Like, that's not that bad, dude. Honestly, like, you're being stupid. You said you wanted to like deteriorate till there was nothing left. Um, Dude, like, you're 25. It's not like you're 40 and you lost your family and you have a mortgage that you can't pay. You know what I mean? Like, you're 25. You probably didn't. You said yourself you didn't have much to start with. Like, it happens, dude. It's not a big deal. Get over it. Gotta get over it. Get over it. Okay. You know, just put your head down and fucking keep moving, dude. That's all you can really do. At least you can look back and see where you went wrong, and like some of the decisions you made were like not the best. At least you have that now. You're gonna be fine, I think. I don't know. Maybe you won't be fine. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Anything else you want to add? Be kind no matter what. It's easier to be a piece of shit human being than to decide to be kind, a kind human, even if the world has turned its back on you. Dude, you're being like so emo, dude. Like, you're fine. You're 25. You gotta start over. You didn't lose much. Yeah, like 9 years is a lot, but it's happening to you while you're young. You'll be okay, I think. Stop being so emo. You'll be all right, dude. Anyway, that's the end of that one. Um, Leave a comment. Tell me what you hated. Tell me what you liked. If you want to submit your own stories, there's a link in the description. If you want to check out Storytime with Ryan, there's a link in the description. Like, share, subscribe, you know. Tell all your friends about this show. Never mind, you're stupid. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'll see you guys soon.